You might be horrified about news reports of people dying from brain-eating amoebas.
But we have some good news that will quell your worries.
So yes, in the news recently, there have been a few infections leading to deaths from brain-eating amoebas, specifically in Louisiana, but also a high-profile case in California as well. And tracing back over the last decade, there have been literally dozens of cases in which an amoeba gets into someone's brain and it does lead to their death, which is scary. And we're going to explain how it works, but we're also going to provide some information about why you should not be worried about this overmuch.
Everybody freak out!
Jesus, don't listen to her. She's being controlled by the amoebas in her brain. Now, how does this actually work when you get an amoeba into your system? It travels up the nose and into the brain, where it typically causes an infection of the lining around the brain. That infection is called meningitis, and inflammation of the brain, encephalitis. Now, when you get this, initial symptoms, which start within the first week of infection, include headache, fever, nausea, vomiting, and stiff neck. Later symptoms include confusion, loss of balance, seizures, and hallucinations. Now, unfortunately, this is the scary part of the video. There are theoretical treatments for infection of these amoebas that have worked in some cases in the laboratory, but not in actual cases of infection of humans. So, if you get these symptoms, yes, it is incredibly likely that you will die of it. But don't worry, because you're not going to actually get infected by it again. We're going to get to that soon. Now, in the U.S., they're typically found amoebas in freshwater sources in southern states. In addition to lakes and rivers, these include hot springs, warm water runoff from industrial plants, poorly maintained swimming pools, and water heaters kept at temperatures below 117 degrees. The amoeba can also be found in soil. Now, those swimming pools that we talk about there would be those who are not properly chlorinated, which would kill the amoebas. Now, drinking contaminated water does not lead to infection. In very rare instances, however, people have become infected with Naegleria fowleri by ingesting water from swimming pools that don't have enough chlorine. Swimming in a properly maintained pool cannot lead to infection with Naegleria fowleri. Now, so that's what I'm saying. You do not have to worry about just drinking the water. Literally, you have to swim in sources of warm water, usually out in the wild.
Don't swim in water runoff. I feel like that's a very...
Don't swim in water runoff, definitely.
Period.
Yes.
Ever.
It's
not
possible...
Even if it is taken out, all of the brain amoebas have taken out of it, do not swim in water runoff.
Yes.
Ever.
If they have a amoeba screen, still don't do it. But yes, in lakes and rivers and things like that, you can theoretically be infected by it, but you can't transfer it from person to person, and drinking water is not going to infect you. And so that's the scary information, that it does lead to some deaths, and it is out there in the wild. However,
the good news.
it is extremely rare.
Anxious.
Super, super rare. In fact, brain amoebas kill only about 5 people per year. And here, this is a chart that was posted in Vocative and some of their information about brain amoeba infection. They're much rarer than deaths per year by champagne corks, shark attacks, lightning, and falling coconuts.
Falling coconuts, those are a real big threat.
They're very scary.
Please watch out.
Yes, and so look, when people die from this, it is scary because it's something that is rare, and we don't see it very often, we don't understand it, and we don't have a treatment for it. But it is so unlikely that you will be infected by one that it should not change your behavior. If you want to swim in a lake, if you want to swim in a river, as we have from the time that humans have existed, from then until now, continue to do so. Do not worry about brain amoebas. Plug your nose if you want to. Even neti pots, so long as you use the right type of water, you don't need to be scared about. Using tap water, I would probably avoid that. Even though then, you're in a good mood for this story.
Sorry, I don't know
why. Even with tap water and neti pot, you probably don't have to worry. And so...
Neti pot, there's only been